Corpse Explosion Necros are a fun build to play, as they can clear the room incredibly quick and easily. Usually players would go with the Heart of the O type of setup for this build, but there's one that would have you using a bow and constantly shooting bone spears at everything without using the skill itself for quite the visual as you drop corpses and then explode the entire room. In today's video, I'm going to go over the build for the Bonemason, a build that utilizes one of the coolest skills visually in the game, and it is a really fun and niche players one build. I'm going to go over the attributes, the skill tree, the gear for my character and my mercenary, and afterwards I'm going to show you guys some gameplay so you could see this build in action. But do keep in mind that when it comes to this build, there are different ways you can be able to gear the character depending on your needs, whether you're trying to go for maximum DPS, you're trying to do a magifying character, or a hybrid of the two. Just keep in mind when it comes to looking at the gear choices that I'm going to be choosing, that you can choose alternative gear depending on the demand that you have for your build. Before we actually get into the build, the comment shout out for this video is going to be Omac Williams, who enjoyed the barbaric build guide, especially the intro. Stoked that you liked the video, and thank you very much for your support. More content coming very soon. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. With the attributes, there's no points invested into strength, as with the gear, he can self-equip everything, even if he ends up dying and needing to be able to retrieve his corpse. But then there's enough dexterity to be able to use the bow, and the rest is put into vitality. For the skill trees, there's nothing invested into the curses skill tree. Moving on to the poison and bone skill tree, the goal is to fully synergize the bone spears that are going to be getting shot from our bow. So I have teeth maxed, bone wall maxed, bone prison maxed, and bone spirit maxed. Now a lot of things can be taken down when it comes to the arrows that are going to be shot from our bow and then the bone spears that are going to be penetrating through everything else. However, the main skill that we're going to be using for the dense areas, once we get enough corpses to drop, is going to be Corpse Explosion. And to keep a safe distance from everything, using Bone Prison is ideal to have as much time needed to kill whatever is trying to get to me before I actually get hit. Lastly, for the summoning skill tree, the Iron Golem being buffed is needed to be able to make golems with the helpful auras for this build, as well as it provides the Thorns aura in case anything gets close enough to be able to hit me. So there's 20 points into Clay Golem, 20 points into Summon Resist, 20 points into Iron Golem itself, then maxing out Clay Mastery, and the remaining points go into Blood Golem to be able to increase the Iron Golem's life. For the gear, do keep in mind that this is a hero edited character. All the items that you see here are not single self found on single player offline, nor do I play online to be able to have someone assist me with helping me get these items to then showcase in this video. I wanted to put this build together myself to be able to show if it would be worth the time and the resources needed to be able to make it effective, in case anyone would be curious to be able to build this out for themselves, and also just for the spectacle of the concept itself. For the gear, starting from the top, I'm going to be using a Dario's Visage socketed with an IAS and Fire Res Jewel for the plus to skills, increased attack speed, life leech, and the help with poison resistance. The amulet is High Lord's Wrath for the plus to skills, increased attack speed, lightning resistance, and deadly strike. The body armor is Enigma for the plus to skills, faster run walk, teleport as that is our main way of getting around, strength based on character level, 14 to life after each kill, physical damage reduced, and the magic find based on character level. The bow is a brand Runeware bow, as it has 100% chance to cast level 18 Bone Spear on striking, and if anything gets close enough to actually hit me, there's 35% chance to cast level 14 amplified damage when struck. But there's also the firing of explosive arrows, enhanced damage, ignore target's defense, 20% bonus to attack rating, 330% damage to demons, deadly strike, and knockback. The boots are Gore Riders for the faster run walk, crushing blow, deadly strike, and open wounds. The first ring is a Ravenfrost ring for the cannot be frozen, attack rating, and dexterity. The belt is Razor Tail for the piercing for the arrows, as well as dexterity. The second ring is a rare attack rating, dual leech, life, mana, and resistance ring. The gloves are a pair of crafted blood gloves with increased attack speed, dual leech, crushing blow, strength, life, and fire res. On switch, I'm going to be using the staple CTA and spirit combo to be able to buff up with battle command and battle orders for the boosting of our skills, life, and mana. With my inventory, there's the cube, which I have a beast rune inside to be able to make a Fanaticism Iron Golem for more IAS for both my mercenary and myself, both tomes, Annie, Torch, summoning skillers with life grant charms, as well as life and resistance small charms. For the additional stats, there's 18% life leech, 9% mana leech, 99% magic find, but that can always be increased with a little bit of gear swapping, such as chance guards, war travelers, and replacing some of the grand charms for a Geeds and 7% magic find small charms, 75% increased attack speed, as well as 75% faster run walk, and 72% chance of deadly strike, meaning dealing double physical damage. Moving on to the Mercenary, she is really important for this build, as she helps to provide crowd control in a very different type of way, especially once we have a large mob to attack. For the Helm, she's going to be using the Delirium Rune word for the chance to cast Confuse on striking to have monsters start attacking each other while enclosed within our bone prisons, giving me even more opportunities to kill everything without having to worry about being attacked, and it also has plus to skills and some magic find. The body armor is Treachery for the chance to cast Fade when struck to be able to boost her resistances, and also has some physical damage reduction, as well as it has some increased attack speed and some cold resistance before Fade is procced. And her bow is going to be the same brand bow that I'm going to be using with my Necro, for all the same reasons that I'm using it. And you'll see that 2 brand bows shooting bone spears simultaneously is quite the spectacle to watch. Now that we've discussed the attributes, the skill trees, the gear for my character and my mercenary, let's go ahead and check out this build in action to see how well it actually plays out. With some of the more niche builds with a character who usually wouldn't use a bow to deal damage, especially those who wouldn't have skills to use to benefit from using a bow, this one is very fun to take throughout different areas of the game and watch the bone spears shooting out everywhere. This build takes what usually is just style points with what Bone Hue would provide with your mercenary, but now will help with dense mobs and keep enemies at bay. With the gameplay, for anyone who'd be curious as to which player settings I'm using for my build guides, the past, presently on screen, and in the future, down in the bottom left corner is what the example gameplay being shown is currently at. I prefer using Bone Prison instead of Bone Wall, especially for being able to enclose an enemy or a group of enemies to be able to help with survivability. Bone Wall can spread out quite far, but with areas such as the cows, in testing out this build, starting with Bone Wall, it didn't go as well as I'd hoped. Regardless of which one you want to use, Bone Wall or Bone Prison, one of the benefits of using the skill is the fact that it will help to aggro everything over to you. As you enclose, or at the very least keep enemies at bay, you start to be able to see more enemies coming over to you, of which your mercenary will be able to cast Confuse to be able to have them attack each other. In time, you will have a lot of enemies around you to be able to kill very easily, making this a walk in the park for very little effort while you kill everything in front of you. The expectations for going into this build shouldn't be that this is a quick clear speed build. It can clear some of the areas of the game well, but overall, it's a different take on a build, utilizing a skill that was more so not used as much, but now is actually meant to deal quite a bit of damage, and once enough corpses drop, clear the entire room. That, or just having fun watching your enemies fight each other as the Confuse proc goes off from your mercenary to be able to have some of the work of killing everything being taken care of for you, as well as providing some of the best crowd control that you could ever ask for. A benefit of having 2 different sources of amp damage proc is that if anything manages to hit you and causes it to proc, if there's a large mob of enemies around you, having everything amped up is only going to benefit you when you Corpse Explosion the entire room, as Corpse Explosion is half fire damage and half physical damage, helping to increase your clear speed. As this build guide comes to its conclusion, if you enjoyed this type of video and want to see more, check out my build guides playlist that's going to be in the card in the top right corner of your screen. I have a mix of endgame, budget, and niche builds that I'm sure you'll enjoy. And for builds that I haven't yet made, feel free to leave your suggestions for future videos down in the comment section below.
I am overburdened.
And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to see if this build would be something that you would be interested in going into the future. And if anything, at least just enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video comes out.
Come on. Come on. Come on then. There you are. There you are.
And if you like this video, please let me know by leaving a like. It really is appreciated to be able to help my channel to grow. And if you want to see more of my Diablo 2 Resurrected content, make sure to click the card in the corner up above to check out my Diablo 2 Resurrected playlist with a lot of videos already in it, with a lot more coming in the very near future. Other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.